Hey everybody, welcome to the Magic Weekly News Update for March 18th, 2018 on the Leek. I'm John as always, and this was a relatively news-light week. We seem to be going back and forth from not much news, bunch of news, not much news. The big news, said in heavy quotation marks, was the Masters 25 box duplication problem, also said in heavy quotation marks, but I already addressed that with my Masters 25 box openings that I did on Wednesday. So moving on to the other news that happened this week. Up first, Wizards continued to address the Dominaria leaks. As I mentioned last week, they were going to do the mechanics article this week on Monday, as well as start the Dominaria Magic story. The response from fans of Magic, etc., was that all that was happening a bit too fast, especially with Masters 25 having not even been released yet, having just been released on Friday, so they did pull back a little bit. The mechanics article will instead go up this Wednesday, March 21st, as well as some other content to officially start the Dominaria spoiler season. The first Dominaria Magic story will also drop this Wednesday. Preview cards will still be given out to community members. Someday we'll get one, maybe someday. And the Masters 25 MTGO release date was moved up to last Wednesday in order to get a little bit of separation between its release and the start of Dominaria Information Overload. Overall, this seems like a good plan to me. Starting Dominaria Information Overload last week would have seriously detracted from the release of Masters 25, but waiting any longer than this week would have let the Dominaria leaked information sit around a little bit too long for the internet speculation machine to get their claws really into it. So prepare yourself, Dominaria information is about to be let loose. A small bit of news that's a big bit of news for me is a new Magic the Gathering board game was announced. If you've seen in the background of some of my videos, I have a ludicrously sized board game collection, including expansions. It's around like 170, 180 games at the moment. This, of course, isn't the first Magic board game, as Magic the Gathering Arena of the Planeswalkers was released a few years ago and didn't really take off. I have it, but I still haven't really gotten around to playing it. I read through the rules, I played like a mini sort of solo game to get my head around it, but I haven't actually gotten a chance to play it. It's based off the old HeroScape game that was really loved, and it seems like it's a solid tactics game, but it just isn't Magic enough for Magic players. The announced game is called Heroes of Dominaria and will be produced by WizKids, a company that really runs the gambit from great to terrible games. They produce the HeroClix series of miniatures, the Dice Masters game that maybe you've seen at your LGS. There's a Marvel version, a DC version, and a Star Wars version, and etc. And they've also produced a lot of relatively to really awful licensed games, but also the game Mage Knight, which is currently ranked the 16th best game ever on BoardGameGeek.com, arguably the de facto source of board game ranking and news and etc. website on the internet. So really, this game could end up anywhere on the scale of awesome to awful. What we do know is that it's a Euro game. For those who are not familiar with the term, that means a game that focuses heavily on non-random mechanics. So there's very few, if any, die rolls. There's no card flips or shuffling of decks. It's a game where the best strategy and the best player will usually win, barring any mistakes or interference from other players, of course. Think worker placement, think resource management, think Agricola, Puerto Rico, games like that. Not games like, I'm looking at my shelf of games, most of them are not Euro games. Anything with dice and cards and decks and stuff like that. So what does this mean for Magic players? Well, this game is not going to be Magic. This is a game that has been made and has the Magic theme put on top of it, which is how Euro games work. The game Agricola, which I always call Agricola, I think it's actually Agricola. Anyways, it's a game about a bunch of numbers that work together in a machine. And on top of it is the theme of farming. This number represents corn, this number represents pig, this number represents fences. And that's what Euro games typically are. They are mechanics first, they are the engine of the game first, and a theme is put on top of them. And in this case, a Magic the Gathering theme is going to be put on top of it. So I do expect Magic players who are desperately looking for more Magic the Gathering are not going to be happy with this. And that's unfortunate, but there is an entire board game world out there that may be very happy with this because it may be a good game. It may be a good Euro game. I do remember people being super angry that Arena of the Planeswalkers didn't come with a promo card or exclusive cards or anything. The box even had to have a label on it saying there's no actual Magic cards in this box, just warning everybody. But as a board game fanatic, I'm super happy and super excited to see this game in action and get my hands on it. Also announced by WizKids was a new series of miniatures called Magic the Gathering Creature Forge Overwhelming Swarm. These minis are sculpted in scale with the company's D&D minis that they also produce, so you can add these minis to your D&D campaigns to give them a magic theme, or, as I'm apt to do depending on their cost, use them as my tokens in a game of Magic. Because look at these things, they look awesome. So far we've seen a zombie and an angel, and I'm really curious to see what else we get. To see if we get, tokens, to see if we get a goblin and a goat and, the tokens that people play with frequently. These minis will be released in July. The board game comes out in August. Finally, a pretty big announcement. The MTG Arena non-disclosure agreement will drop this Thursday, March 22nd. That means that if you are in the beta starting Thursday, you can freely talk about the game, what's in it, your opinions of it, your reviews, etc., and most importantly for me, create content and stream it. This doesn't mean the game's opening up. It doesn't mean that if you're not in the beta that now you're going to be able to play it. You do still need to be in the beta to play it, but now everybody can talk about it and show it off. We do know that there's going to be a new update this week as well that will include a collection reset, so everything that you have in your collection if you're in the beta is going to be gone. That's how betas work. There are wipes, there will be more wipes, there will be wipes until they say this is the final wipe. And also the Amonkhet block of cards will be released, which is great because currently we do know that Ixalan is the only block in MTG Arena. You are building just pure Ixalan decks. Now we're actually going to get a little bit closer to standard. Unfortunately, I've seen no announcements about draft being available, which is a pretty big downer. But let me know if you want to see MTG Arena content and what it is you want to see. Do you want me to open packs on stream or in video? Do you want me to show you the program and talk about what I think about it? Do you want to see actual decks? I'm not the best deck builder or brewer, but with something like MTG Arena where I have a restricted collection, I'm going to have to become one. So let me know what you want to see. I've been in the beta since last November, and it'll be cool to finally share this game with everybody. So that's going to wrap it up for the news today. Let me know what you think of the board game, the minis. Let me know if you're going to be streaming MTG Arena. As I said, let me know what MTG Arena content you want to see, and I will make it. But if you like the content that you've seen so far, click that thumbs up button. Click subscribe if you want to see more. If you have questions, comments, or suggestions, you can find me on Twitter at @TheManaLeek. That's L-E-E-K, like the vegetable, not the card. You can also find me at Facebook.com/TheManaLeek, Twitch.tv/TheManaLeek, and Patreon.com/TheManaLeek. Stay tuned there for a big announcement about Crack-A-Packs coming this week, where people are actually going to have the ability to get their hands on the Crack-A-Pack cards. I will mail them out to patrons, so stay tuned for that. But if you've got questions, comments, or suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, see y'all next time.